Good morning, everybody. I am pleased to call to order the July 15th, 2021 meeting of the Montgomery County Board of Commissioners. Note the presence of all three commissioners, and I'm going to ask Mr. Scott France to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right, I'm going to open with a few comments today. Give our now twice a month update on the coronavirus. As many of you saw in the news over the last few days, the Pennsylvania Department of Health updated their vaccine dashboard last week due to their data cleaning efforts. The data cleaning included linking both first and second doses to individual residents and removing duplicated data. Now that the state dashboard more accurately reflects where things stand, many counties saw their vaccine numbers change. Here in Montgomery County, we saw a decrease, but only in our first dose data. Our fully covered numbers actually increased, which shows that we continue to make good progress on our vaccination efforts. After the data cleaning efforts, and considering the 81,563 Montgomery County residents who were vaccinated in Philadelphia County and are not included in the PADOH data, we went from 74% of our entire population receiving at least one dose to 65%. Additionally, our share of fully vaccinated residents, fully vaccinated, by total population rose by more than 50,000 people since last week. So there was a real shift in a lot of our numbers. So if you look at the numbers and they look a lot different, this is why. I also want to just point out that that total fully vaccinated number does not include the 81,563 Montgomery County residents who were vaccinated in Philadelphia. Actually, Solicitor Stein is working with the Philadelphia Department of Health trying to get more specific information about those folks so that we can give you these numbers more accurately. We continue to encourage everyone who gets a 2-dose vaccine to use the most convenient option available to get the second dose. You can now get a second dose from a different provider than you got your first dose. It's really important that you get that second dose. There is some data that is suggesting that without the second dose, people are more susceptible to the Delta variant of the virus. Getting vaccinated is the best thing we can do to suppress this virus, and we're seeing real evidence of this in our county indicators. Our county positivity remains under 1% at 0.67%, and this week's daily average of cases is 7.3, which is a slight increase from last week, so we are watching this closely. I would love to see these daily averages stay below 10 per day. The COVID-19 vaccine doesn't cost anything. It's more widely available than ever, and it will absolutely help protect you and your family. Our county-run clinics operate Monday through Thursday from 2 to 6:30 p.m. at varying locations across the county. This is in addition to the many area pharmacies and doctors' offices that are now also administering the vaccine. We encourage anyone who still wants to get vaccinated to do it where it's most convenient, including getting your second dose. I just want to say that again. You do not have to go back to the same person that you got your first dose from to get your second dose. And we accept walk-ups at all of our county vaccination sites. You can also pre-register for a vaccine with the county. That will make the process a little bit quicker for you. And you can do that at vaccine.montcopa.org. Now, if you or a family member have any appointment issues, you can email covid19@montcopa.org, or you can call our hotline at 833-875-3967. Continuing on the immunization theme, July is National Immunization Awareness Month, a key opportunity to highlight the importance of vaccination in all ages. COVID-19 disrupted both in-person learning and routine well child visits for many children over the last year. As a result, too many children have fallen behind on receiving their recommended vaccinations. We all want our kids to be back in school safely, and that means getting caught up in vaccines that were missed over the past year. The CDC's public sector vaccine ordering data show a 14% drop in 2020 to 2021 compared to 2019. And measles vaccine is down by more than 20%. Kids do need to get caught up now so they are protected as they go back to school to in-person learning. Catch-up vaccination will require efforts from our healthcare systems, our healthcare providers, schools, states, and local governments, and families. The Montgomery County Office of Public Health wants to help, and we are pleased to announce that the reopening of their child and adolescent immunization clinics is happening. They will reopen on August the 2nd at the Norristown and Pottstown locations. They are currently taking appointments. Residents are encouraged to call the public health center they wish to attend between 8 a.m. and 3 p.m. Monday through Friday to make an appointment for their child or adolescent. These clinics are able to serve children and adolescents who live or attend school in Montgomery County, who do not have health insurance, or who have health insurance but it doesn't cover vaccinations, who are between 0 and 18 years old on medical assistance, or are American Indian or Alaska Native. And additionally, to assist families with adolescents who need a Tdap, which is the tetanus, diphtheria, and pertussis shot, or meningococcal vaccine, Office of Public Health will also be offering these two vaccines at our already established COVID-19 vaccination clinics, and this will also begin in August. These clinics are able to serve children and adolescents who are age 11 years and older, regardless of insurance, who need these vaccines in order to attend school. So again, that's the Tdap and the meningococcal vaccines. 11 and older, whether you have insurance or do not, you're welcome to come to any of our already established COVID-19 sites. The Tdap and meningococcal vaccines are required for entry into 7th grade, and a second dose of meningococcal vaccine is required to enter 12th grade. These vaccines will be available by appointment. Stay tuned for more information on how to register to receive one of these vaccines at an Office of Public Health COVID-19 vaccination clinic. OPH will be updating their website and advertising these clinics on their social media platforms. Residents are encouraged to visit their website for more information. That's www.montcopa.org/immunizations, and to follow Office of Public Health on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Now, there's still a lot of questions out there about the COVID-19 vaccine. And to help provide answers to parents' most common questions on the COVID-19 and routine vaccinations, the Montgomery County Immunization Coalition is partnering with the Tri-County Health Council, Tri-County Area YWCA, and the Pottstown School District on a COVID-19 and routine vaccination update, what parents need to know, and it's a virtual town hall. This town hall is scheduled for Thursday, July the 22nd at 7 p.m. Expert panelists from around the area will discuss the role of routine vaccinations, COVID-19 vaccines, and the steps we can all take to protect one another and ensure that in-person learning is safe and accessible for all children across our local school districts. Attendees will be able to submit questions in advance or ask them live. You can register at pottstownfoundation.org/town hall. And I just want to emphasize that this information, even though this particular event is sponsored with the Pottstown School District, this event is open to any parent, family in Montgomery County, and the information applies to every school district in our county. So I encourage anyone who's interested in more information to sign up and watch this virtual town hall. And with that, I'll turn it over to Commissioner Lawrence.
Okay, thank you. I have two announcements this morning. First, at our last meeting, the commissioners approved $5 million to be allocated for the Montco Strong 2021 Nonprofit Resiliency Grant Program. The funding will be used to help nonprofit agencies who suffered disruptions and financial losses due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Nonprofit organizations that provide help with food, healthcare, housing, childcare, mental health resources, elder care, and are more critical to the restoration of our communities as we move towards more normalcy. There are several differences to note from the previous Monco Strong nonprofit grant programs that we administered in 2020. It's the types of organizations that are eligible, the eligible use of funds, and the amount of grant dollars an organization can apply for have all changed. Entities awarded a grant may use the funds for operational expenses paid or to be paid between January 1st, 2021 through October 31st, 2021. Grant amounts will be determined by the criteria provided in the program guidelines. Program guidelines, applications, and the request for assistance form for the Monco Strong 2021 Nonprofit Resiliency Grant Program can be found on the Montgomery County Commerce Department page at www.moncopa.org/commerce. And there will also be a full preview of the application to help applicants prepare to apply, and we encourage nonprofits to go there and check this out before you apply. Applications will open on July 19th at noon and will close on August 10th. The applications will be reviewed by a multidisciplinary team, and awards will be administered by the Redevelopment Authority of Montgomery County. So we would encourage our nonprofits to go to the website now, check it out, and if eligible, apply on July 19th or before the deadline. I'm also pleased to announce that National Night Out will be coming back this year. The best way to build a safer community is to know your neighbors and your surroundings. National Night Out is typically held on the first Tuesday in August, and it gives us the perfect opportunity to do that and to build community and strong and positive police and community partnerships. We did not have National Night Out last year, but we are hearing that events are coming back as our COVID-19 numbers continue to stay low, as our chair just mentioned. So far, we've heard the following townships will be holding National Night Out: Abington, Lansdale, Hatboro, and Marlboro. If your police department is hosting one of these events, we hope you take the opportunity to come out and see your neighbors and county resources at any of our county tables. And based on available staff resources, our County Department of Health will also be offering the COVID-19 vaccine at some of the locations. So we hope to see you out on National Night Out.
Great. All right. We will now move on to the public comment period. We will begin with public comment on matters appearing on the agenda. Do we have anybody for public comment? Okay, Mr. Stein, if you could just read the rules, please.
Certainly. All speakers should identify themselves by name and municipality. All public comments must be relevant or germane to county business. Under the law, this means that the subject matter of all comments must be limited to items or issues which are currently before the commissioners for consideration or which may come before the commissioners for consideration at a future meeting. Whether a matter is germane to county business is a determination to be made by the county solicitor. Profane, slanderous, or discriminatory language or comments will not be tolerated in accordance with the county's non-discrimination policy. A time limit of 2 minutes will be monitored, and county staff will respectfully request speakers to conclude their comments if the speaker goes beyond the time allotted. The board is not required to respond to public comments during the course of the meeting, so the public is reminded this is not an opportunity for dialogue or questions and answers. The board chair may direct appropriate county staff to follow up with speakers after the meeting. Disruptive behavior, including but not limited to yelling from the seats, arguing whether a matter is germane to county business once a determination has been made on such, attempting to disrupt the meeting in any other way, or refusing to yield the floor once time is elapsed and being requested to sit down shall be grounds for removal or muting from the meeting without further admonishment or warning. And as always, the commissioners welcome written correspondence, comments, and feedbacks at commissioners@montcopa.org.
Thank you, Mr. Stein. All right. Public comment on matters appearing on the agenda.
Okay. First up, we have Laura Lehman. You are now unmuted. Okay, Ms. Lehman, if you're speaking, we cannot hear you. Again, we're unable to hear you, Ms. Lehman.
Why don't we move to the next person?
All
and then
right, we can
we
come back.
Yeah.
Thank you. One sec. Does anyone else have public comment on matters appearing on the agenda? You can raise your hand using the feature in Zoom. Okay, we do have one additional person with the.
Francisco, we can hear her on the Zoom, so it's something in this room that you can't hear.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Bonner.
Okay. All right.
All right, Ms. Lehman, sit tight.
Yes,
Apparently, some
we
people
are
can hear
just-
you, but we can't.
We're just
So
having an issue here in this room.
we will
so
figure
we're
this
gonna,
out.
no. One sec. Okay. Just one second, we're just adjusting the audio. Ms. Lehman, can you speak now, please? Yes. Ms. Lehman, we still can't hear you in the room. Just one sec. It's going to cross-track.
Yeah, it is. So we could switch it. Once it's speakers, we can put the mic up against here. I can put that into
Okay.
the room. See if we can do it that way. So, right, so we go to those speakers.
Okay. Okay. Ms. Lehman, again, can you speak now?
You can
Yeah.
hear?
Yeah, if you have your, Tom has his laptop here.
There it is. We've got it.
Well, wait, that's
No,
off
we got it
of
on
his
Tom's.
computer.
No, we're hearing it through Tom's.
Give me one second. So let's do this, right?
Controller.
Okay, this one?
Yeah, Tom,
Yeah,
why
Tom,
don't you
we
just?
may need
People in the room hear you, Karen?
Okay, we're okay. Okay. Ms. Lehman, we apologize, we can hear you now in the room.
Okay, all right, wonderful. It's no problem. We all have had these technical difficulties. Thank you for persisting. I appreciate that. I also wanted to thank you very much for holding the Zoom. Our township has gone to non-Zoom meetings and has refused to offer another option, although for commissioners they offered one. And I just missed my speaking time at the meeting because they told me we'd be able to phone in, and then we weren't able to. So I thank you for doing that, and please do keep doing that, because some of us are very susceptible, or people in our family are very susceptible. And I hope you will ask all your municipalities. I really firmly hope you will do that. Ask them all to give immediate Zoom possibilities. These viruses are not something we want to monkey around with. So I do want to say that I am disappointed to see that Mr. Stein has still not amended at all his own instructions to people. He's instructing them in something that's in violation of Pennsylvania law. In Pennsylvania law, we do have the right to interrupt when we have a perceived violation of speaking time, and he's telling people that they may not interrupt for any reason. He's the sole end, and they can't be heard as to what they disagree with when he thinks something is not germane. That's in violation of sunshine law. It needs to be fixed. I've asked for that to be fixed many times. Please do so. We have to have responsive government. This is not okay for you to be misinforming people. Everybody has not read the sunshine law when they come here, and they have to trust that you're going to tell them the truth. not something that's in your interests and against theirs. So please fix that, okay? Also, I did have trouble still getting on the website, so I'm hoping that Kelly or someone will work with me on that. That needs to be fixed. I am
Ms.
going
Lehman,
to
your
take
time, your
my,
2 minutes are up.
okay, thank you.
Okay, any additional public comment on matters appearing on the agenda?
Yes, we do have one other person with their hand raised. Kevin Beatty, you are now unmuted.
Good morning.
And Kevin, you just have to hit unmute on your end there.
Okay, thank you.
We can hear you. Good morning.
Well, good morning, thank you. I'm not sure if my matter that I'd like to talk about is on the public agenda, and if it's not, I apologize. It's my first time ever at one of these meetings. My name is Kevin Beatty. I'm a Norristown resident. Have been my whole life, aside from my college years. And I just would like to take a minute to discuss the explosion of homelessness in Norristown, particularly the structure that was built on Markley across the street from
Mr.
McDonald's
Beatty?
at the corner of Main.
Mr. Beatty, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Can I stop you for 1 second? Can I ask you to, if this does not appear to be anything related to matters on the agenda, but we do have a general public comment section, which this may be more appropriate for.
Okay, that's
So
good.
just
That's good.
hold
Thank you. I
on.
didn't know.
Yeah, no
Just
problem.
wait a minute.
If you just hold on.
We'll get to you.
Sure, I appreciate it.
Yeah, just sit tight. We just want to make sure we get everybody who wants to speak about today's agenda.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Yep. All right. Anyone else for today's agenda? No? Okay. All right, then we'll move on to general public comment. Mr. Beatty, you're welcome to go ahead and restart your comments. Thank you. Thank you for your patience.
I apologize.
No problem.
Yes, I just was talking about the homeless structure that was built on Markley Street across from McDonald's on the corner of Markley and Main. There's just rampant heroin use there. Every single day we see it, and we're already battling a negative stereotype in Norristown, and this is what everybody sees when they go through. And I'd just like to know, what are some steps that can be taken to fix this? Because it really is putting a bad taste in everybody's mouth around here, because we just don't understand how they're allowed to continually break the law. And not to mention, like, the environmental concern. There's a homeless structure there of countless people. Like, where do you think they're going to the bathroom? Right in the water. Where are these needles going? Right there. And I just have a concern about that, and I thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. All right, anyone else for general public comment?
Yes, we do have one person. Back to Ms. Lehman. You are now unmuted.
So, several weeks ago, before the last meeting, I sent to you some very distressing information about a person that you have in charge of the very things that the law was violated in again and again and again. I have far more information, but I don't even have the slightest sense that you are going to read it or act on any of it. And Mr. Gale, I've not heard from you at all. And Commissioners Lawrence and Arkoosh, you were not interested in knowing more and finding out how to fix the problem that you have in your planning commission. We need to have public servants, which you are, that are actually serving the public, and it is not in the public's interest. I sent you pictures of things that were very similar to what happened in Surfside, Florida, and they were a result of the direction of the man that you have now at the head of the Planning Commission board. This is not okay, and your own planner, Mr. Narkowicz, put together an ordinance that was totally in violation of our laws, including, making buildings less safe, and then acted as though he were a resident on a Zoom call and said, "Well, I highly recommend this. I think this is a really good ordinance." It's stunning. The conflict of interest alone in him helping, he half wrote that ordinance. And having our planners write ordinances for developers is not okay. the conflicts of interest and the problems in our various township need stronger ethics laws, and you are the people that we appeal to get that done. Please work with me to do that. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lehman. All right, anybody else? No? Okay. All right, thank you, everyone. We will move on then to approval of the minutes. I will move to approve the July 1st, 2021 minutes of the Montgomery County Board of Commissioners meeting. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lawrence. Any board comment? All right, hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Are there any negative votes? Hearing none, the minutes are approved. All right, next we've got approval of the Housing and Community Development 2021 Annual Action Plan and amendments to the 2015, 2016, and 2019 Annual Action Plans. Mr. Good. Good morning.
Morning, Commissioners. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
All right. Good morning. I'm Sheldon Good. I'm the administrator for the Montgomery County Office of Housing and Community Development. The first action for consideration by the board today is approval of the county's 2021 Annual Action Plan. This is a plan that's submitted to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development regarding funding through the Community Development Block Grant Program, or CDBG, the Home Investment Partnerships Program, or HOME, and the Emergency Solutions Grant Program, or ESG. At the Commissioners' meeting on June 3rd, I addressed the board on the draft of the annual plan and the process we took to develop it. We held a series of citizen participation meetings. We held a series of application training sessions to provide information on program requirements and application procedures. We provided training information on the provisions of the Federal Fair Housing Act, as well as state and local laws and ordinances addressing fair housing. And we conducted an application process for municipalities and nonprofit agencies to request funding. The 2021 Annual Action Plan addresses three overarching goals of the HUD programs that are applied according to the needs in Montgomery County as identified through the planning process. The goals are, first, to provide decent housing by preserving affordable housing stock, increasing the availability of affordable housing, reducing discriminatory barriers, increasing the supply of supportive housing for those with special needs, and transitioning homeless persons and families into permanent housing. Second, to provide a suitable living environment through safer, more livable neighborhoods, greater integration of low and moderate income residents throughout the county, increased housing opportunities, and reinvestment in deteriorating neighborhoods. And third, to expand economic opportunities through more jobs paying self-sufficient wages, home ownership opportunities, development activities that promote long-term community viability and the empowerment of low and moderate income persons to achieve self-sufficiency. The board took action by resolution at the June 3rd meeting to propose the draft annual plan and make the plan available for public comment. The availability for comment was advertised on June 4th in local newspapers that circulate in the county. And the comment period was a 30-day period that began on June 4th and extended through July 4th. During this period, we received no public comment on the plan. The advertisement included notice of a public hearing scheduled for Wednesday, June 23rd at 6 p.m. And due to COVID-19, this meeting was conducted as a virtual public hearing. It was convened at 6 p.m. and adjourned at 6:20 p.m. There were no members of the public in attendance at the hearing. The program year annual action plan presents the activities to be funded from various HUD programs and other available resources during the period of October 1st, 2021 to September 30th, 2022. Our funding amounts under the HUD programs are $3,586,160 from CDBG, $280,785 from ESG, $1,417,787.18 from HOME. There's additional resources of $1,024,325 from the county's Affordable Housing Trust Fund and $875,000 from the Reinvestment Fund. The action before you also includes amendments to the 2015, 2016, and 2019 annual action plans, and details on the funding are available in Exhibit A to the resolution before you today. So that concludes my comments on this first action.
Great, thank you, Mr. Good. I will move that the proper county officials, in accordance with the authority conferred by law, subject to the approval of the county solicitor, hereby approve the 2021 Annual Action Plan and amendments to the 2015, 2016, and 2019 Annual Action Plans, and formally recommend the plan to the participating municipalities and nonprofit groups within Montgomery County and to the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development as listed in the exhibit attached hereto. Be it further resolved that the proper county officials are hereby authorized to submit the 2021 Annual Action Plan and amendments to the 2015, 2016, and 2019 action plans to the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development for their review and acceptance. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lawrence. Any board comment? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Are there any negative votes? Hearing none, motion carries. All right, Mr. Good, approval of amendments to the 2019 Annual Action Plan?
Yes, the second action for consideration by the board today is approval of an amendment to the 2019 Annual Action Plan regarding proposed activities for funding under the CDBG CV3 program. The board took action by resolution on June 3rd to make this amendment available for public comment. The availability for comment was advertised in a separate advertisement from the previous one I just mentioned in local newspapers that circulate in the county. The 30-day comment period was June 4th to July 4th. This amendment was included in the June 23rd public hearing at which there were no members of the public in attendance, and to date we have received no comments on this amendment. The CDBG CV3 program funding amount is $3,560,462. Details on the funding are available in Exhibit A to the resolution before you, and that concludes my comments on this action.
I will move that the proper county officials, in accordance with the authority conferred by law, subject to the approval of the county solicitor, hereby approve the amendment to the 2019 Annual Action Plan and formally recommend the plan to participating municipalities and nonprofit groups within Montgomery County and to the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development as listed in the attached exhibit. Be it further resolved that the proper county officials are hereby authorized to submit the substantial amendment to the 2019 Annual Action Plan to the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development for their review and acceptance. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Lawrence. Mr. Good, just for clarification, what is in this amendment that was different or not in, I guess, the first one that we just voted on? Could you just clarify that for folks?
Yeah, this is an amendment to the previous year's action plan for CDBG CV, which is COVID-related funding that was provided to the county via HUD. And so that funding technically needs to be a revision to last year's annual action plan. The first amendment, the first resolution you had was to this upcoming year's annual action plan.
Okay. Comments or questions? Okay, great. Then we'll move to a vote. Are there any negative votes? Hearing none, motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Good.
Thank you.
Mr. France, adoption of amendments to the Montgomery County Comprehensive Plan. Good morning.
Thank you, Gale. And good morning, Commissioners. As you said, my name is Scott France. I'm the Executive Director of the Montgomery County Planning Commission. And today we're excited to present to you with updates to the County Comprehensive Plan, known as MOCO 2040, a shared vision. While this has been an extensive public process, of which I'll share the details of in a moment, today's presentation serves as the final public hearing on the changes to the plan with a resolution before you to consider adoption. I'm also joined by Ann Levitt-Gruberger, our County Planning Section Manager at MCPC, and she's going to provide an overview of the proposed changes. Let me begin with a quick overview of what a comprehensive plan actually is, and please forgive me, I'm always impressed with the level of knowledge that our leadership has in the comprehensive plan and their usage of it, but for the general public, I do want to provide this general description. By definition, it's a long-range plan required by state law for guiding the growth and physical development of a place. Virtually all of our municipalities in the county have their own comprehensive plan. The county's plan establishes an overall framework for local municipal plans and provides guidance on issues that transcend local boundaries. These can include highways, public transportation, trails and open space, stormwater management, growth trends, redevelopment opportunities, overall housing needs, natural systems, economic growth, and impact of large developments, just to name a few. In short, the County Comprehensive Plan is an advisory document, and it's used to guide county decisions and inform local municipal policies. Our current comprehensive plan was adopted in 2015, and the state law also requires that a plan be reviewed or updated every 10 years. So you may ask, why are we here today in 2021? Well, the reason is that the broad goals and strategies in the current plan have served us well, and they continue to offer relevant guidance on land use and policy decisions. Ann's going to touch on some of the success we've achieved under the plan, and it's something we track every year with our implementation report every January. However, the county is always changing, so we want to take essentially a midterm break in the life of the plan and adjust our important policy and planning maps to better reflect the changes that have occurred. We also want to recognize the efforts of our municipal decision makers and reflect the local policy changes and or zoning changes that have taken place since 2015. All of this will maintain the plan's relevance and continue to establish consistency between county and local planning efforts. It's not a requirement that we do this, but we strongly believe that it represents good governance and transparency that ultimately serves to keep the plan fresh and ready for use as we continue to look forward. Before Ann goes over the changes, I want to stress that today represents the end of a lengthy and deliberative process. The Planning Commission began with its own analysis over the course of 2020 to identify development trends and changes. Then we conducted outreach with all 62 municipalities and school districts to seek their feedback and suggestions in implementing the proposed changes. An online mapping tool was even created to help them identify and inform us of any inconsistencies or concerns. We also notified adjacent counties, municipalities, and other governing bodies. After all the changes were identified, we began the broader process of outreach to the general public. A virtual information meeting was held on May 24th, and since then we have maintained a webpage with copies of all the maps and changes with an online form that allows anyone to provide comments and utilize the maps. That brings us to today with this public hearing and resolution to adopt the proposed updates, and I'll introduce Ann Levitt-Gruberger to give you that overview.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning, everyone. So one of the things that we are updating in this plan that Scott didn't mention is that we have added some new text to the document that outlines some of the policies and programs that we have put into place since adopting the plan. So I'm going to start with some of those. First, we made some edits to the Connected Communities section of this plan. We mentioned our work with PennDOT Connects, our programs and plans for Walk Monco and Bike Monco and the associated projects that go with it. Our recently adopted Trail Access, Diversity, and Awareness Study also gets a nod, as well as all of the work that we've done to promote the Monco 2040 grant program and the funds we've provided for sidewalk implementation, trail projects, murals, and other good local projects. We updated the Sustainable Places section of the plan with, again, more information on some of the policies that have been put into place, the bridges and roads that have been improved over the last several years, the Complete Streets policy that we've adopted, the 10,000 acres of preserved farmland milestone that we reached last year, increased trail usage, and also an emphasis on flooding education and heat island impacts, which is something that we are working on right now. We updated the Vibrant Economy section of the plan with some of the major transportation projects that have either been completed, such as Lafayette Street, or projects that we are making significant progress on, such as the KOP Rail project. We mentioned the COVID-19 grant programs through the Commerce Department, one of which you just heard about, and also the Restart Monco initiative that we've been working on. Back to the maps. We've updated several major policy maps in this document, but they don't necessarily reflect policy changes, just more so changes locally. Open space that's been preserved, development that's taken place. So we've updated these maps accordingly. First up is our development potential map. This really shows where we would like to see growth encouraged and land preserved. These, again, are just minor tweaks to the map to show where changes have taken place. Our future land use plan was updated. This is a higher level map, I suppose, to show what the general character of development will be into the future. Our primary trail network map was updated to show, again, progress that's taken place over the last 5 or 6 years, trails that have been completed. For example, the Pennypack Trail, that's been a big area of work over the last several years, and now those trails that have been completed are shown in red. And proposed trails, we've added one on the Gulf Mills area, that's number 26. So the proposed trails that we see happening in the future are shown in orange. We've updated our transportation project maps. We have 2 of them. The programmed projects map shows the projects that have funding attached to them, and you can see the projects that are in gray are the ones that have not been started yet, and there are very few of those. We've really seen a lot of progress on projects that have been completed, and those are or are underway, I suppose, and those are shown in blue and pink. Our vision projects map, again, transportation projects that are they're vision projects. They don't necessarily have funding attached, but they are things that we would like to see happen in the future. They're good projects. They're just not quite there yet. We've updated our sewer map with existing and future service areas. These are pretty closely aligned with the development potential map that I showed you before. Similarly, our water service map was updated as well to show where updates to water infrastructure have taken place. And as Scott mentioned, we revisit this work pretty regularly. We have an annual update to all of the things that have been done to implement the report. We look at the indicators that are in the report as well to show progress on all the various topic areas that this report covers. And with that, I'll again mention that this is an always changing document, but these amendments are really pretty minor. They don't represent any substantive policy changes. But 2025 is right around the corner, and we will probably begin working on that new comprehensive plan that Scott mentioned really soon, and we hope to have an excellent new document for you in the near future.
That concludes our presentation.
Okay, great. Thank you both so much. All right. I will move that the proper county officials, in accordance with the authority conferred by law, subject to the approval of the county solicitor, hereby accepts and adopts as official county policy in accordance with Section 302 of the Pennsylvania Municipalities Planning Code, the amendments to the comprehensive plan for Montgomery County titled MACO 2040, a shared vision, that are set forth in Exhibit A. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lawrence. I just want to thank you both for this work. I think this is terrific. You know, I think when we look at any document that has a shelf life of 10 years, well, ours doesn't really sit on a shelf. We use it very, very often and every day, probably in a lot of cases. But obviously maps and things are going to change, and we've made so much progress here in the last 5-6 years. It's really great to see that that's being reflected when people look at this document. So thank you for that, because I know it is a ton of work. So I really appreciate that.
And it's an excuse to print a new copy.
There we go. And I would love to have a new copy, so you can drop one off in my office. Just a question about next steps as we move toward 2025. When will the process begin? Because I remember the last time, I wasn't actually a commissioner yet, but I remember it happening. There was extensive involvement from people in the community. My memory is close to 2,000 people contributed to that effort. So when will that process start again for 2025?
It officially starts next year.
Okay.
I'll say it's already started because we're talking about it and thinking about it now. But we're going to be doing the background research, and if you recall, there is a preceding document that came before this, which was kind of an existing conditions map. So we'll be preparing that over the next, starting in 2022. The real thrust of the vision plan for 2050 will go from 2023 and 2024 at a very high intensity. So
All
you'll be
right.
hearing about it.
And then I assume that you will make it very public how people can participate in that process. And
Absolutely.
Yes, and,
Yeah.
and those 2,000 or so people that you remember are the ones that we surveyed and reached out to in a number of different ways. So it very much is a public process that we want residents to partake in.
yeah, absolutely critical that they do so. Great.
Thank you for the very thorough presentation. And I think it's great that you provide that overview for the public as well, so they understand that this is a living, breathing document, and also see that things are getting completed there as well. So thank you for the presentation, but thank you guys for the work that you do every day to help us continue to meet those goals.
I'd like to thank you both as well, and please extend my gratitude to the community planners in your department that I know do an excellent job communicating with all the municipalities in the county and also assisting them with their municipal comprehensive plans. So it's great that this communication is going strong, and I look forward to implementing a lot of these plans. Thank you both.
Thank you.
All right, if there's no additional comments, we'll move to a vote. Are there any negative votes? Hearing none, motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
I look forward to getting my copy. All right, Mr. Dortone, approval of general fund unrestricted fund balance amounts.
You can use this if you want, or whatever.
How's that? Morning, Commissioners. So with the audit still underway but nearing completion for 2020, we're beginning to do some final financial planning for the audited financial statements. And you'll recall this slide. I presented it a few weeks ago. These are our preliminary numbers for 2020 that are under audit for the general fund. As of today, they still hold. There's been no communication about any major adjustments. I've talked to the auditors directly and have been in direct communication with the Controller's Office as well. As you can see, based on where the numbers stand now, including what we planned for in the forecast for 2020 that was included in the 2021 adopted budget, the $14.5 million of assignment, even with that, the fund balance is still above our goal range of 18 to 20%, with this projection at about 25%. So with that, staff has been, discussing some of our future needs within the general fund, looking ahead in 2022 and beyond, for some planning around the assignment of ending fund balance as it's projected. And as you can see, the assignment that we are recommending is in three major categories. The first is future debt expense, and the recommendation is to assign ending fund balance in the amount of $20 million. The next major category that is recommended for assignment is COVID-19 recovery initiatives or expense in 2022 and beyond. That assignment's recommended at $10 million. And the third category is the funding of future pension expense in 2020. This will help us, and this is $5 million, this will help us maintain our 100% contribution to the pension plan where we are this year for the first time. So these three are all recommended. They have been discussed with the external auditors, Clifton Larson Allen. We do have new auditors this year, so it is required by GASB that a formal action be taken by the board to include it on the face of the financial statements. I just quickly sketched up, what this will look like in summary format, but you can see in the audited financial statements, when you look at the governmental funds, you'll actually see the breakout of these categories if approved as recommended.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Dorshone. I will move that the proper county officials, in accordance with the authority conferred by law, subject to the approval of the county solicitor, hereby approve the assignment of $5 million of the general fund unrestricted fund balance to Montgomery County's actuarially determined contribution to the employee pension fund, $20 million of the fund balance to debt service expenditures, and $10 million to the Montgomery County Recovery Initiatives. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lawrence. Mr. Dorchon, thank you for this. I know a tremendous amount of work went into this. I think it's a foundational document that really sets us up well for the future and helps us anticipate, or well, we know we can anticipate increased funding needs and helps us prepare for those. The $10 million for future recovery efforts, it's my understanding that will go to really seed our recovery office. And just want to remind the public that that is open and taking your input for what we should be doing next to make sure that we fully recover from this pandemic.
Yes, that's correct.
Great. And then just, do you know when the anticipated date of the audit in terms of it concluding is?
Yes, so we had a recent discussion. It'll likely be in the month of August. There's not an exact date at the moment, but that's the new target. So I would say by the end of August, the audited financial statements will likely be released.
And do you feel the audit's far enough along that if there was any significant likely need for change, that we would be aware of it at this point?
I think so. I would just qualify it by saying things could still come up, but they've done a lot of field work up to this point, so I think we're in a pretty good spot.
Okay, great. Okay, all right. Hearing no other comments, we'll move to a vote. Are there any negative votes? Hearing none, motion carries. Thanks.
Thank you.
Mr. Stein at TEFRA.
Yes, this is a request under the Tax Equity and Fiscal Responsibility Act, coming from the Bucks County Industrial Development Authority. They are seeking to issue $3.75 million worth of tax-free bonds on behalf of Little Round Industries, which is a metal fabricator in Montgomery County. The money will be used for capital projects, including the construction of a 28,000 square foot manufacturing facility in Hatfield. And as always, there is no obligation on the county for this approval.
All right, thank you. I will move that the proper county officials, in accordance with the authority conferred by law, subject to the approval of the county solicitor, hereby approve the project for the Little Round Industries LLC. Be it further resolved that the approvals and declarations in this resolution shall in no way pledge or otherwise obligate the credit or taxing power of the county, nor shall the county be liable for the payment of principal, interest, or premium, if any, on any obligations issued to finance the project, nor shall the county have any obligation or liability whatsoever with respect to the project. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lawrence. Any board comment? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Are there any negative votes? Hearing none, motion carries. All right, emergency approval for HVAC work at the Montgomery County Juvenile Probation Office.
Yes, thank you. During one of our recent heat waves, the HVAC system at the Juvenile Probation Office, located on Port Indian Road, stopped working and needed to be replaced. Obviously, that is sort of a situation where we can't have anyone in the buildings at those temperatures, so we needed to act on an emergency basis. This is looking for your approval so we can pay for those emergency repairs.
Thank you. I will move that the county commissioners that an actual emergency existed as defined by section 2001 of the second class county code, thereby permitting the county of Montgomery through its chief clerk, chief operating officer, to enter into such contracts without meeting the requirements of section 2001 of the second class county code, as may be required for the replacement of the HVAC equipment at the Montgomery County Juvenile Probation Office. Be it further resolved that the proper county officials, in accordance with the authority conferred by law, subject to the approval of the county solicitor, are hereby authorized to enter into a contract with CM3 Building Solutions Incorporated for the replacement of the HVAC units at the Montgomery County Juvenile Probation Office with a cost of $420,000. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lawrence. Any board comments? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Are there any negative votes? Hearing none, motion carries. All right, Ms. Pardue. The other chance. I wasn't sure you were here. Good morning.
Good morning.
You should have in front of you the final copy of the Commissioners Department's personnel list. It is a 7-page document dated Wednesday, July 14th, 2021, with a timestamp of 7:32 a.m. All positions have been reviewed and accounted for and are presented for consideration.
Thank you. I will move to approve the July 15th, 2021 personnel presentation as given by Director of Human Resources, Ms. Donna Perdue, and to authorize the proper county officials to execute the same. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lawrence. Any board comment? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Are there any negative votes? Hearing none, motion carries. Thank you. All right, Ms. O'Malley, advertisement of a bid and RFPs.
Yes,
Good
there is a
morning.
bid on behalf of Assets and Infrastructure for construction services. The successful bidder will construct a new archives facility on the Eagleville campus. Contract will be awarded to the lowest responsible bidder. 2, an RFP on behalf of Assets and Infrastructure for construction inspection services. The successful responder will provide full-time on-site construction oversight and inspection during the placement of County Bridge number 177, located on Sturger Street over branch of Stony Creek in the municipality of Norristown. Contract will be awarded to the highest-rated responder. 3, an RFP on behalf of Assets and Infrastructure for construction inspection services. The successful responder will provide full-time on-site construction oversight and inspection during the replacement of County Bridge number 77, located on Plymouth Road over Wissahickon Creek in Lower Gwinnett Township. Contract will be awarded to the highest-rated responder. 4, RFP on behalf of Assets and Infrastructure for engineering design services. The successful responder will perform the required engineering, environmental permitting, and construction consultation for the replacement of County Bridge number 269, Easton Road over Sandy Run in Abington Township. Contract will be awarded to the highest-rated responder. 5, RFP on behalf of Assets and Infrastructure for engineering design services. The successful responder will perform the required engineering, environmental permitting, and construction consultation for the replacement of County Bridge number 56, Rice's Mill Road over branch of Tacony Creek in Cheltenham Township. Contract will be awarded to the highest-rated responder. 6, RFP on behalf of Assets and Infrastructure for engineering design services. The successful responder will perform the required engineering, environmental permitting, and construction consultation for the replacement of County Bridge number 44, Morden Road over Pennypack Creek in Abington Township. Contract will be awarded to the highest-rated responder. 7, RFP on behalf of Health and Human Services for consultant management services. The successful responder will provide management services for the Health and Human Services capitated behavioral health medical budget. Contract will be awarded to the highest-rated responder. 8, RFP on behalf of the Treasurer's Office for Bank Services. The successful financial institution will provide banking services for the General Operating Fund. A contract will be awarded to the highest-rated institution.
Thank you. I will move to approve the preceding requests for the advertisement of a bid and RFPs and described by the Deputy Chief Operating Officer, Ms. Barbara O'Malley, and to authorize the proper county officials to execute the same, subject to the approval of the county solicitor. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lawrence. Any board comment? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Are there any negative votes? Hearing none, motion carries. All right, advertisement of an RFP for the Southeastern Pennsylvania Task Force.
There's 1 RFP for training. The successful responder will provide a structural collapse specialist training course for the regional counties. Contract will be awarded to the highest-rated responder. A reminder, all bids and RFPs are available on the county's purchasing website at www.montcopa.org/purchasing.
I will move to approve the preceding request for the advertisement of an RFP for the Southeastern Pennsylvania Task Force as described by the Deputy Chief Operating Officer, Ms. Barbara O'Malley, and to authorize the proper county officials to execute the same, subject to the approval of the county solicitor. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lawrence. Any board comment? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Are there any negative votes? Hearing none, motion carries. Next, awards of contract for the county.
Yes. 1, contract award, Assets and Infrastructure, Building Repairs, SHDC DeKalb Investors, LP of King of Prussia, PA, $147,707.54. Contract provides for masonry repairs to the exterior wall and masonry exterior wall analysis for the Human Services Center building. 2, contract rescind and re-award, Assets and Infrastructure, Inspection Services, McTish, Kunkel and Associates of Allentown, PA, $102,433.84. Contract for RFP 2106 provides construction inspection services for the old Nefa Road Bridge over Swamp Creek, also known as Sunrise Mill Bridge in Upper Frederick Township. Rescind award to TRC Engineers Incorporated of New York, New York. Original awarded firm can no longer meet the certification requirements of the RFP. 3. Contract award Health and Human Services Vehicles. Whitmore Auto Group of Mount Joy, PA, $66,910. Contract provides 2 2021 Ford Explorers for the Office of Children and Youth. Vehicles are available through a PA CoStars contract. 4. Contract award Information and Technology Solutions, Consultant Services, Pomeroy Technologies, LLC, $84,420. Contracts provide for county network assessment services. Services are available through a PA state contract. Projects are wireless survey, Montgomery County campus, and campus local area network assessment. 5. Contract award Information and Technology Solutions Equipment. New Era Technology of Islandia, New York, $24,772.10. Contract provides a new server required for the voice over IP system upgrade. Equipment is available through a Pennsylvania Education Purchasing Program for Microcomputers Cooperative Contract. 6. Contract award Public Safety Services. SHI International Corporation of Somerset, New Jersey, $30,187.50. Contract provides 115 professional service hours for Radiological Board building. Services are available from a Sourcewell cooperative contract. 7. Contract award Public Safety Software. Cloud PCR LLC of Pittsburgh, PA, $89,500. Contract provides for a data bridge that will allow for the collection of all emergency medical services patient report data at a regional level. Software is proprietary. 8. Contract award Public Safety Software Support, Dell Incorporated of Round Rock, Texas, $35,838.58. Contract provides support for VMware software. VMware provides the overall platform for the 911 computer-aided dispatch system. Contract is for the period of 7/12/2021 through 7/11/2022. Software is available through a PA CoStars contract. 9. Contract award Solicitor, Legal Services, multiple providers. Contracts provide for outside legal counsel services on an as-needed basis. RFP 2119 was viewed by 56 firms, with 23 responses received. Proposals were reviewed and all firms were deemed qualified. Contracts are for a period of 1 year with 3 optional annual renewal terms. A list of the qualified firms is located in the back of the room. 10. Contract award Youth Center Vehicle. Whitmore Auto Group of Mount Joy, PA, $41,200. Contract provides for a 2021 Chevrolet Silverado truck with plow package. Vehicle is available through a PA CoStars contract. 11. Contract amendment Assets and Infrastructure Engineering. RK&K of King of Prussia, PA, no cost time extension. Original contract provided for an engineering firm to perform the required engineering, environmental permitting, and construction consultation for the replacement of County Bridge number 177, Sturgis Street over branch of Stony Creek in the borough of Norristown. Amendment allows for a no-cost time extension of the contract through December 31, 2022 to continue construction consultation services for the project. 12. Contract amendment Assets and Infrastructure Furniture. Global Furniture Group of Marlton, New Jersey, $21,746.25. Original contract provided furniture for the revision and fit-out of offices on the 6th floor of 1 Montgomery Plaza. Amendment provides for additional furniture required to complete the project. Furniture is available through a PA state contract. 13. Contract amendment Assets and Infrastructure Engineering. Traffic Planning and Design Incorporated of Pottstown, PA, $94,789.35. Original contract provided engineering design services for County Bridge number 190, also known as Kime Street, which carries Kime Street over the Schuylkill River from Pottstown Borough to North Coventry Township in Chester County. Amendment provides a revision to resolution number 21-C.213 dated May 20, 2021 to include the total amount approved for profile revisions to accommodate an adjacent PennDOT project, as well as to design lighting for proposed bridge and an extension of the contract through 2/25/2022. 14. Contract amendment Assets and Infrastructure Access Services, Norfolk Southern Railway Company of Norfolk, Virginia, $59,919.82. Original contract provided right-of-way access to allow for necessary alterations to Butler Pike and culverts adjacent to and under Norfolk Southern Railway. Access includes right-of-way for installation, maintenance, operation, and removal of Butler Pike culverts. Amendment corrects the award to the fully executed contract amount of $83,431. 15. Contract amendment to Assets and Infrastructure Moving Services. Use relocation services of Lansdale, PA, $5,329. Original contract provided moving services related to the 1 Montgomery Plaza reskin project for Phase 5. Amendment provides for additional days required to complete Phase 5 moving services. 16, contract renewal, multiple departments, engineering services, multiple providers. Contract provides for on-call engineering services as per RFP 1627. Renewal is for a 6-month period while a new RFP is being prepared. A list of providers is located in the back of the room. 17, contract amendment, Information and Technology Solutions, Microsoft Certified CRM Partner, RSM US LLP of Morristown, New Jersey, $300,000. Original contract provides services to augment development staff on an as-needed basis for CRM projects and increase collaborative and document management functionality for various county departments. Amendment provides additional support services required for Health and Human Services, Planning Commission, and tax claim design applications. 18, contract amendment, Information and Technology Solutions, Fiber Connectivity, Crown Castle Fiber of Warrington, PA, $22,029.60. Original contract renewal was for dark fiber connectivity and ISP services for the county's network. Amendment provides fiber network services to bring the voter's office at Montgomery County Community College onto the county's network and additional miscellaneous fiber services required during the second renewal term of the contract. 19, there are 16 amendments for Health and Human Services. Providers and services are listed at the end of the agenda and at the back of the room.
Thank you. I will move to approve the preceding awards of contract as described by the Deputy Chief Operating Officer, Ms. Barbara O'Malley, and to authorize the proper county officials to execute the same, subject to the approval of the county solicitor. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lawrence. Any board comment?
I have comment.
Okay, Mr. Gale.
I comment on contract award number 1 on the agenda, which is this contract provides for masonry repairs to the exterior wall of the Health and Human Services building in Norristown. I understand that the county is contractually obligated for this agreement, but I've been very outspoken and critical of the sales leaseback agreement that currently exists between Montgomery County and the landlord of the Health and Human Services Center, which is Silverang Development Corporation. I wasn't a commissioner when the sales leaseback agreement was agreed upon, but in my opinion, it's very expensive. The amount of rent that we pay for that building is expensive, and also when you compare to what we sold the building for, it's clearly a sweetheart deal for that landlord. And I never heard of an agreement with real estate where someone sells a building, then rents the building they were in, and then pays for physical repairs to the building. I could see for paying for fit outs of office space, such as adding cubicles. When you're fixing masonry repairs on the exterior of the wall, that's benefiting the landlord, not the tenant. And the landlord should be responsible for the cost of that physical improvement. This has also happen with HVAC repairs in the building and many other contract agreements over the years, and every time it comes up, I oppose it. And in my opinion, this sales leaseback agreement, when it was done, was clearly a stunt to fill a budget gap when Commissioner Shapiro was here on the board. And instead of cutting spending or raising taxes because it was an election year was approaching, he thought it would be beneficial to sell a county building and enter into this sales leaseback agreement clearly to fill that budget gap for political expedience. And also the landlord of the building was also a generous campaign contributor to Commissioner Shapiro at that time. So I'm tired of seeing politics being played with county assets and county taxpayer dollars. This is an example of it, and I will continue to oppose physical improvements that we're doing to a building that we do not own. So I request that the chair separate contract award number 1 and amend the motion to do the other contract awards together and separately do contract award number 1.
Mr. Stein, could you just clarify, what would happen to the county if we did not pay a contractually obligated fee?
So just as a reminder that this was, the sale of the building was done under an RFP, so that it was a competitively bid process. And the terms were the ones that were negotiated following that process. If we were in violation of those, we would be in breach of the lease. We would be responsible for those as well as damages, including interest and other costs associated with it, including the legal fees that it would take to get that money from us.
So presumably the landlord would sue the county?
Oh, absolutely.
And they would have a case that would be
It's
straightforward?
It would be, yes. I mean, the language of the contract is clear that we're responsible for our portion of capital improvements to the building, including changes to, say, the structure such as masonry or HVAC, we are responsible for our percentage of that, as well as the other tenants in that building are responsible for the remaining percentage.
So just to clarify, every tenant in that building is making a contribution for the cost of these repairs?
Towards the capital, yes, towards the capital repair costs, yes.
Thank you.
So it's a sweetheart deal for the landlord, and that's what,
I'm not sure I understand how,
in my opinion, it's a sweetheart deal for the landlord.
my experience is that that's not the case.
How much longer do we have in this lease?
Let's see, it was a 15-year lease that we entered into, I believe it was 2014, so.
You're going to make me do the math.
Only because I can't. Lawyer, not a.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. We will vote simply on item number 1, and we will save the rest for a second motion. So I will take that as a friendly amendment, and we will now vote on item number 1, and we'll have a roll call vote, please, Ms. Washington.
Chair Arkoosh.
Aye.
Vice Chair Lawrence.
Aye.
Commissioner Gale.
Opposed.
Motion carries. All right, next I will move to approve awards of contract number 2 through 19 as described by the Deputy Chief Operating Officer, Ms. Barbara O'Malley, and to authorize the proper county officials to execute the same, subject to the approval of the county solicitor. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lawrence. Any additional board comment? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Any negative votes? Hearing none, motion carries. Okay, awards of contract under emergency procurement, Ms. O'Malley.
Yes, these contracts provide various goods and services required for response to the COVID-19 pandemic. 1, Response Services, Health and Human Services, Vaccination Site Services, Montgomery County Community College of Bluebell, PA, $41,602.22. Contract provides for vaccination site services at the college. Services include security services for April 2021, hygienist services for March and April 2021, and cost of repairs for damage to gym doors. 2, Response Services Amendment, Health and Human Services, Contact Tracing, Multiple Providers. Contracts provide contact tracing services in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. Amendment allows for reallocation of personnel to other COVID-19 related needs at no additional cost. Providers are Aclamo of Norristown, PA, Family Services of Montgomery County of Eagleville, PA, BNA Community Services of Abington, PA.
Thank you. I will move to approve the preceding awards of contract as described by the Deputy Chief Operating Officer, Ms. Barbara O'Malley, and to authorize the proper county officials to execute the same, subject to the approval of the county solicitor. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lawrence. Mr. Stein, could you just update the public on where we are with this emergency declaration?
Certainly. So our emergency declaration remains in effect and will do so through August, I believe it's August 9th. The federal state of emergency is still in effect through August 19th. The General Assembly did vote to terminate the Commonwealth, but that does not affect our emergency declaration, which does allow us to act more and respond more quickly to emergency-related needs.
So under our current declaration, this will be the last time that we have any contracts awarded under emergency procurement, unless we should choose to extend our county.
We would until the emergency declaration ends, so we could theoretically enter into it up until that date, and so they could appear on the next agenda as ones, but nothing beyond that date.
But we would have had to enter into it before.
Yes, unless much like we did with either issue a new emergency declaration or on a case-by-case basis do as we did today for the HVAC system for JPL.
Right, thank you. Any other comments?
Ms. O'Malley, what are some of the other services that personnel will be reallocated to?
So these will be COVID-related. It would have to be related to the pandemic. Those services must be related in some manner. This could be anything from promoting second dose shots, as the Commissioner has mentioned earlier, also acting on any of our programs related to COVID assistance, such as rent relief, or other services related to anything specific to the COVID pandemic.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, then hearing no additional comments, we'll move to a vote. Are there any negative votes? Hearing none, motion carries. Awards of contract for the Southeast Pennsylvania Regional Task Force.
Yes. Number 1, contract award training, Northwestern Center for Public Safety of Evanston, Illinois, $33,100. Contract provides for police management and leadership program for Bucks County. The training will combine academic principles with practical applications and focuses on a range of critical leadership and management areas. Training program is proprietary. 2, contract renewal, software licenses, Data Miner Incorporated of New York, New York, $40,000. Contract provides for the annual renewal of 5 First Alert licenses with support and maintenance for Chester County. The software system alerts responders to breaking events, enabling the fastest real-time incident response. Software is proprietary.
Thank you. I will move to approve the preceding awards of contract on behalf of the Southeast Pennsylvania Regional Task Force as described by the Deputy Chief Operating Officer, Ms. Barbara O'Malley, and to authorize the proper county officials to execute the same, subject to the approval of the county solicitor. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lawrence. Any board comment? Great. Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Are there any negative votes? Hearing none, motion carries. Thank you. Any closing commissioners' comments? Okay. Then I will announce that our next meeting of the Board of Commissioners will be August 19th, 2021. Just a reminder, we do only have one meeting in August, and that will be on August 19th. And I will entertain I will move to adjourn the July 15th, 2021 meeting of the Montgomery County Board of Commissioners. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lawrence. Any board comments? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Any negative votes? Meeting is adjourned. And we will convene salary board. Good morning, Controller Sanchez.
Good morning.
We can hear you. That's great news. All right. Do we have any public comment on salary board?
We do, yes.
All right.
All right. Ms. Lehman, you have been unmuted. Ms. Lehman, are you there? It shows you're still muted here. Okay, give it one more time.
Okay, well, if she comes back, we'll let her speak. Okay, Ms. Purdue.
Thank you. Good morning, members of Salary Board. You should have in front of you the final copy of the Salary Board list. It is a 9-page document dated Wednesday, July 14th, 2021, with a timestamp of 2:54 p.m. Of note, we have 2 retirees, Elizabeth Arena from Early Intervention after 33 years, and Joanne Lynch from the Prothonotary after 12 years. All positions have been reviewed and accounted for and are presented for Salary Board consideration.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve the July 15th, 2021 Salary Board presentation as given by Director of Human Resources, Ms. Donna Pardue, and to authorize the proper county officials to execute the same?
So moved.
Moved by Controller Sanchez.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lawrence. Any board comments? Okay, hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Are there any negative votes? Hearing none, motion carries. Do we have any comments on our?
I'm sorry, we do not.
Not today. Okay, well, we certainly wish both of our retirees the best and thank them for their service, particularly very lengthy service to our county. No. All right, then I will ask if there is a motion to adjourn the July 15th, 2021 meeting of the Montgomery County Salary Board.
So moved.
Moved by Controller Sanchez. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Lawrence. Any board comment? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Are there any negative votes? Hearing none, meeting is adjourned. Thank you.